Hello everyone and a huge welcome to the first ever performance of the National Youth French Horn Ensemble. I'm Rachel Branston.
And I'm Paul Branston, and together we've formed the Nicholas Branston Foundation.
Nick was our son and a fine French horn player who was on the verge of an orchestral career when 12 years ago everything came to a sudden end with a fatal car accident. As tragic as that was for us all, we wanted to keep Nick's name alive, along with the love that he had for music. So on the day of his funeral, along with Tim Jones and Nigel Black, we decided to set up a charity in Nick's name. We had initial support from the Royal College of Music, and we began by awarding postgraduate scholarships. Then we started running music courses with Nick's friends as our teaching staff. But after all this time, we finally realised that the best thing we could do in Nick's memory was to set up this coaching group for the country's best emerging young horn players.
And so here we are today. For a full week, we've had 8 young students studying under the expert guidance of Tim Jackson, Principal Horn of the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, and Beth Randall, who plays with the Chamber Orchestra of Europe, and she's also a tutor for the Guildhall School of Music and the NYO. And they've taken no prisoners, covering all the mysteries of horn playing in the finest detail. Now look, although this pandemic has meant we couldn't meet and play together in the flesh, taking everything online has brought some surprising benefits because we've been able to invite guest tutors from around the world.
And so we've had the joy of welcoming Sarah Willis from the Berlin Philharmonic. We've had Ben Goldscheider talking about new horn music. We've heard about period instruments from Jean-Pierre Dassonville. We've listened to the delicate art of bumping with Chris Morley. And we've marvelled at the iconic melodies that David Pyatt has played for films such as Star Wars and Harry Potter. These melodies are things that we know and love. We also welcome Katie Woolley, who is now Principal Horn of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra in Amsterdam. And she was in her first year at the Royal College of Music when Nick was doing his postgrad. She wrote to me after her session this week, and she said that Nick was always encouraging and very friendly. He seemed to have the perfect balance of being supportive, open, funny, relaxed, and dedicated. She said, "We all looked up to him when we arrived as the kind of young professional that we wanted to be."
So you're about to hear the product of at least part of this week's work. Now, it was never meant to be like this. Playing single instruments to a metronome beat and then welding it all together electronically is just a crazy way to present a concert. But we owe huge thanks to our expert editor, Ashby Mays, who's made all this possible.
And so, without further ado, let's hand over to Beth Randall, who will introduce our first piece.
Hi, my name is Beth Randall, and I have been one of the tutors on this first ever National Youth French Horn Ensemble course. We've had a great 6 days exploring everything about the horn, and you're going to hear a range of pieces today. The first is a quartet by the Russian composer Nikolai Tcherepnin, who was more commonly known for writing ballet music. Here we have an elegant miniature for 4 horns, which will be played by Anya Landbeck, Claire Marsden, Ewan Kakache and Dan Hibbert. I hope you enjoy.
One of the things we've been working very hard on during our course is learning to play in swing. And we've been looking at several pieces by the American composer and horn player N.Y.F.H.E, who studied with Philip Farkas and was a member of the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra for many years. We're going to hear one of his Bipperies for two horns, number 6, played by Claire and Anya. That will be followed by the first of Rossini's horn duos, played by Georgia and Nia. Rossini composed these duos when he was only 14, and they were originally to be played on hand horn, another of the subjects we've been exploring during the course.
Hello again. Now you're going to hear two duos, one written at the end of the 20th century by N.Y.F.H.E, and this is in a jazz swing style, and these pieces are really helpful for getting us as horn players to learn jazz and swing, which we don't normally meet. So Bippery 18 will be played by N.Y.F.H.E and Dan Hibbert. After that, we're going to hear a piece from around 1850, an Adagio by the horn player and composer Kopprasch, who was a great friend of the man who invented the valve, Mr. Sturzel. And so suddenly the horn could play chromatically, and of course we needed some chromatic music to play, and Kopprasch obliged, and here is a lovely, very chromatic duo played by Nathan Barker and Alex Roswell-Ryan.
Before we hear the final piece in this morning's concert, there are a few thank yous which need to be made. Firstly, a huge thank you from me personally to Beth Randall for all her hard work and enormous expertise across the week. Secondly, I'd like to thank all of the incredible guests who visited us during the course. Sarah Willis, Ben Goldscheider, Jean-Pierre Dessonville, Chris Morley, Katie Woolley, David Pyatt and Ros Jones, who all gave us such inspiration. Ashby Mays for his immense hard work in all the video editing. And thanks of course to all the parents for allowing us to take over your lives for a week. Your support has been invaluable. And the students yourselves for entering into the spirit of things at what has often been a very strange time. And lastly, of course, to Rachel and Paul Branston for having the vision, determination and energy to bring this whole thing to life. And so we finish this morning's concert with the first of Lowell E. Shaw's Fripperies, played by Nia, Georgia, Alex and Nathan.
So, didn't everyone do well? This has been the strangest experience for us all. Everyone worked so hard during the whole week, and then this has been the first time when even the performers have heard the product of their work. So I think it's almost like the old days of sending your holiday photos to the chemist to be developed and then you collect them a week later.
So you can hear more from the National Youth French Horn Ensemble this evening in the joint concert with the National Youth Percussion Orchestra. That begins at 7:30, so please join us then. But this afternoon we'd like to introduce you to NYPO, or the National Youth Percussion Orchestra, with their first virtual concert at 3:30. This is 20 of our country's top young percussionists, and there'll be names among them that you'll see in the leading orchestras of the future. And you'll be able to say that you saw them for the first time here. So that's 3:30 for NYPO and 7:30 for both ensembles together, featuring the world premiere of a new piece that we've commissioned, and it's all very exciting.
So, do join us then.